program. Apologies, you are staying with us for our further stories. We stay in the United States next, where a California farm worker has died from injuries sustained a day earlier when U.S. immigration agents raided a cannabis operation and arrested hundreds of workers, according to a farm worker advocacy group. This comes as a federal judge in California ordered the Trump administration to temporarily halt some of its most aggressive tactics in rounding up undocumented immigrants. Dozens of migrant rights activists faced off with federal agents in rural Southern California on Thursday. It was the latest escalation of President Donald Trump's campaign for mass deportations of immigrants in the U.S. illegally. His administration has made conflicting statements about whether immigration agents will target the farm labor workforce, about half of which is unauthorized to work in the United States, according to the government estimates. The Department of Homeland Security said approximately 200 people in the country illegally were arrested in the raid, which targeted 2 locations of the cannabis operation Glass House Farms. Agents also found 10 migrant minors at the farm, according to reports. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Rodney Scott has posted on X that the facility is under investigation for child labor violations. Here's what the United Farm Workers Vice President had to say.
What we know is that one of the workers from the Glass House operation was transported to the hospital. Family informed me that they were in the ICU, and this morning the family confirmed that he indeed passed away. It was a very comprehensive raid that occurred at this operation. It does appear that there was a warrant served.
Jim, the Trump administration's battle against illegal undocumented migrants continues. Donald Trump did say prior to his election, Jim, that he will launch the biggest deportation program in U.S. history. Isn't this what the American public voted for? And what are your thoughts on how significant this raid is of the Trump administration's broader push for mass deportations?
Thomas, you're absolutely right. This is exactly what Trump campaigned upon. And he made it clear that it was really about, as he said many times, he wanted to carry out the largest removal of undocumented people since the Eisenhower administration during the 1950s. And so, sadly, this is what many Americans did vote for. And now I think a lot of people are seeing the reality of this. But what this is doing is, again, just like Trump's damage to America's reputation and America's standing in the international community, what Trump's foolish actions are doing is at least twofold. On the one hand, it's destroying the economy in California and other places because the United States economy is dependent upon workers, many of whom are undocumented, to pick fruit and to do agricultural work. And now these people are afraid, reasonably so, to show up for work. But the second reason is that Trump is destroying the rule of law and violating the Constitution, specifically the Fourth Amendment and the requirement, or the prohibition against unreasonable search and seizure. And so what Stephen Miller's policies are doing is just going after people in an indiscriminate manner, looking for anybody who looks non-white. And in the process, they're arresting not only those who are undocumented, but also U.S. green card holders and U.S. citizens themselves. There's an individual, a U.S. veteran who was wounded in action. He's now missing. He's in ICE custody. Nobody knows where he is. And so I've been following this story and can't get the answers to this.
Jim, just
yeah.
just one final question on this story. Do you think the United States has changed its perception on the world stage thanks to the Trump administration in regards to these deportations that have been taking place. What are your thoughts of America's image now when it comes to acceptance of migrants and people who come into the country?
Again, thanks for that follow-up. I really appreciate it. It's done irreparable damage, in my opinion. I'm an American. My family is from the United States, but I've lived abroad for much of my life. My wife is from here in the Philippines, and I can tell you that I'm not going to go with my wife back to the United States while Trump is still in power. I believe that and I know to be a fact, that what Trump's policies have done is to just decimate the American tourism industry. But beyond that, he's really destroying America's reputation as what Ronald Reagan called a shining city on a hill.
Jim Rice, thank you very much